All right. Good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Life Experience podcast, where hope is renewed, dreams are restored. Hey, and Jesus is real. So thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Tonight's going to be exciting. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be life-changing. But hey, here's what I need y'all to do right now. I need y'all to share. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to tag. I need y'all to invite. I need y'all to go ahead and start a watch party tonight and invite as many people as you can to the Kingdom Life Experience podcast. We're going to change lives tonight. Hey, and I believe that your life will be one of the ones that will change. So, hey, invite a friend, invite a neighbor, tell somebody, text somebody, tweet somebody. Let them know that Pastor Perryman is on tonight with the Kingdom Life Experience podcast. Hey, do us a favor tonight. Make sure you go download our church's new app. Go to Apple Store, go to the Google Play Store, go to the Amazon Store. Hey, do us a favor, even go to Roku and download our church app. It's the Kingdom Life Faith Center Church app, and be up to date or stay up to date on all things Kingdom Life Faith Center. All right. We definitely appreciate every one of you. Listen, don't forget to join our small groups. Please join our small groups. We have this mentality that we don't want to leave anybody left behind. So, hey, this small group that's coming up this week, this Thursday night, is the Mandate Small Group. Hey, that Mandate group is led by Pastor Perryman. Everything that's talked about in Mandate stays in Mandate. So it's just a date with men. So you got to come on and be a part of that and be a part of the grief share that's going to take place also this Saturday at 9:30 p.m. So, hey, I'm looking forward to every one of you being on tonight and being a part of those groups. So listen, I need y'all to do us a favor. I need you to share. I need you to like. I need you to tag. I need you to invite. I need you to start a watch party tonight. And let's transform the world together. So listen, before we really get into our speaker, our special guest tonight, I want to give a big shout out to my wife, Pastor Sophia, tonight. Hey, she's recovering and feeling better. So thank y'all so much for your prayers tonight. We appreciate you so much. But listen, do us a favor, share, like, tag, invite, start a watch party tonight. So, hey, without further ado, we're going to bring on the woman of the hour tonight. Miss Sherika Nicole is rocking with us tonight. Hey, Miss Sherika, say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kingdom Life podcast. Hey.
We're gonna talk about some great stuff tonight.
Yes.
It's getting a little chilly up in here. I gotta turn some stuff off because Treasure being here talking about it's too hot. And, I'm thinking that it's just her. But anyway, man, we're gonna have a great time tonight. Sherika, how are you tonight? How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. I'm doing good. All
right.
How about you?
Hey, I'm alive. I got no complaints. Hey, let me give some big shout outs to people who are on tonight. and then we're going to get into it, all right? So big shout out to my wife, Pastor Sophia, who's on tonight. Shout out to Miss Shella T. Roby, who's on tonight. Miss Jennifer Smith is in the house. Minister Kim Simmons is in the house. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching through YouTube, through Instagram, well, not Instagram, but through YouTube, through Periscope TV, and those of you who are watching from Miss Sherika Nicole's page, welcome to the Kingdom Life Experience podcast. We appreciate every one of you tonight. So listen, you can also ask questions tonight, all right? We're going to give you time for questions and answers, all right? Hey, shout out to my mother, Dorothy Perryman Brewer, who's on tonight. And shout out to Miss Jasmine is rocking with us tonight, too. Jasmine, I've been missing you. But anyway, good to see you.
Too, so hey,
you're missing her too. That means Jasmine got a boo. That's what this is. Jasmine got a boo.
Man.
Let's not get to it. How have you been in this pandemic? How have you been in this pandemic?
Oh my God. You know what? I've actually been good. You know, I know we've all experienced so many ups and downs. We all technically kind of experienced the same thing in regards to, you know, just going on lockdown, adjusting to the new norm of, you know, not really going out. I'm so sick and tired of wearing those masks. Those are, you know, so I've been good though. You know, I see a lot of posts where some people actually struggled through the pandemic, but for me, it was great, actually. You know, I got a chance to take a step back and kind of re-examine my life, the things that was going on, things that I can focus on and change. I did revamping with my businesses. So for me, it was good. Although I did bring the new year in with COVID. So I did have.
You had COVID?
I was down for a total of 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Extremely, I had every single symptom, but the loss of smell. So it is definitely real, people. Do your best to take care of yourselves. I'm so grateful and thankful that I had a village. To leave things on my porch, you know, and to check on me. But I was going through it over here. You know, my neighbor texted me like, Sherika, you okay? We haven't seen you. Like, the car haven't moved. You okay in there? And, you know, so I'm really grateful that, you know, God placed certain people in my life that was really concerned, not nosy, but was concerned. You know, it's a difference.
That's a real big difference, because a lot of times people don't want to be concerned about nothing or nobody, just themselves. Right. So thank God for good nosy neighbors. Yeah. But listen, let's get into it. Huh?
I said, and good nosy friends.
Yeah, good nosy friends. Yeah, that's a good thing too. Listen, let's get into it tonight. Our podcast tonight really is about the entrepreneur in you. The entrepreneur in you. It's about every one of us is a CEO. You know, every one of us is a CEO. And I really want to talk about, who is Sherika Nicole? Who is Sherika Nicole? Let's talk about her. Who is she?
Sherika Nicole is a bold, faithful, giant crusher believer that has the attitude of determination, the attitude of to never give up. And that's literally who I am. I've been like that since I was a young child. I mean, people that know me, I just ran into somebody and they was like, I always knew that you was going to go be that person to go get it and never give up. And, you know, this was someone that kind of knew like my family and knew like a little bit of our background and knew like the things that I've been through in life. And, you know, just to hear them say that, you know, I didn't need the confirmation, but the confirmation was good and it came at the right time, if that makes sense. So,
it does make a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. A lot of times people don't realize how important a compliment is. Even though you are the CEO, this entrepreneur, this motivational speaker, this mom, a woman straight out of Compton who's pulling herself up by her bootstraps, and people look at you and say, oh, she got it going on. But the reality is you still need somebody to say something encouraging to you. It matters.
Absolutely.
It really does matter. Now let's talk about, what is it like? What was it like growing up in Compton? What was it like? Because you're a hood girl. You're a hood girl, and that's a good thing.
I'm a hood girl. Hey, 134th Street, born and raised. No, it wasn't bad for me. My family was a family whose name was in the streets. People knew my family, growing up and whatnot. So I won't say I kind of had a jump start because of who my family was and, what they did and whatnot. Right. It's just that that's what I was born into. And I think that in life, we get so caught up in what we're born into, and then it causes us to not really step out and get our own individuality and, step out and be who we are supposed to be and not necessarily follow the footsteps of what our family members did. And so for me, Compton was good. Of course, in every city, I think you got your ups and downs. I stayed in Beverly Hills. I definitely witnessed individuals having their ups and downs. So I just think Compton in itself got a name for itself. Like I just was in Houston, and this guy, I was snowed in actually, and this guy, I was snowed in out there. So me and my son was stuck, and this guy was in line, and I told him I was from Compton. He was like, "Is it really like that?" I'm like, "If it was really like that, you wouldn't be standing here talking to me right now."
Wow.
You wouldn't be talking to me if it was really like you can't stand on the corner and you're gonna get shot. Like, it's just what they portray Compton as. But it's some bad mama jammas coming up out of Compton.
yeah, there are. There are. But listen, just recently, I had a chance to read the magazine that you were in, the Voyage LA magazine. See, Pastor Perry would be on his thing. He know what he's doing. He paying attention. So let's talk about that experience. A hood girl coming out of Compton, made her way, lived in Beverly Hills, now living in a different area. Got two beautiful sons, and here you are being interviewed on the Voyage LA magazine. Talk about that.
It was an experience. It was actually someone that I don't even know that recommended me to be interviewed as an entrepreneur and as someone that's striving and as someone that they looked up to. And I was like really shocked when I got the email and the call for me to be, featured again. So this is my second time being featured in their magazine. And so I was really shocked. And even one of the editors, when she read my story, she was like, "Well, you've done so much since the last time that we've interviewed you. Like, how do you do it?" And I was like, "By the grace of God." Literally what I said, by the grace of God,
But that's a good thing, though. See, the thing that when I first met you on our on the In the Backyard thing, I noticed that this lady was doing a lot of commenting, and I was like, "Wonder who is she?" And then I kind of researched. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime people come on my podcast or my broadcast or whatever, I'll go research them to see who they are. And I was like, "Oh, she got several businesses. She's doing a great job." And then I met you in person.
Yeah.
And at the New Year's Eve service for Living Praise Christian Center, you came up to me and you said, "Hi, I'm Sheriff Nicole. I just want to introduce myself to you." And when I turned and looked at you, I said, "Yeah, I know who you are." And I think it caught you off guard because he was like, "You know who I am?" Like, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
But let's go further. Let's talk about some other things here. Let's talk about the businesses that you have. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about the businesses that you have. Let's talk about that.
One of my first business is Hung Up Boutique, which before it was Hung Up Boutique, it was baby girls accessories. And so with that, I just started selling accessories, and I'm actually wearing some pieces that I made, and I kind of started making bracelets and selling jewelry out the trunk of my car. And from there,
wait! You gotta stop. You gotta stop right there. You gotta stop right there. Stop right there. Okay, you was the Master P of businesses out there, getting it and selling it out of the trunk. Come on, you got to talk about that. You can't leave that part hanging. You got to talk about that.
I'll never leave that part out. If I'm allowed the time to share that, I'll always share that part. Okay, so like I said, I had hit a financial roadblock. I was in transition of jobs, and I'm into fashion. And so I was downtown one day. I had $100. I took $100 and I invested it in some accessories. You know, accessories is like the cheapest thing that you could start off with if you're trying to start a business. In my eyes, it was. And with the income that I had, I wasn't doing no loans. I haven't did any loans or anything like that. It's all my money, all from my paycheck, my hard earned, putting in hours. So I took that $100 and I brought accessories. And so I would go to birthday parties. If you invited me to your house, backyard boogie, I had on some of that. Like, where did you get that from? And those earrings are cute. And I'm like, oh, I'll sell them. They were like, oh, how can I get them? We can walk out to my car. I have them in the trunk of my car. And that's literally how I started. And then from there, I started going to beauty salons and speaking to the owner, asking them if I can come in with some accessories and show it to, you know, the ladies that work there or her clients. And I will always give her like one or two. I would give the owners something for letting me come into their place of establishment to sell items to, you know, their customers and their employees.
I'm really curious. I'm really amazed about you saying I was selling it out the trunk. I mean, because I see what that has taken you. You understand? So now it's not selling it out the trunk, but it's selling it out of my mobile van now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? See, I'm looking at this thing because there's only one other person that I knew of who had a van or a van that they had a boutique in, a mobile van boutique. And that was one of the members of our church, his daughter, Brother Richard's daughter. Then when I saw you, I was like, yeah, this right here, this is the business right here. Talk about that, going from selling out of your trunk to having a mobile van, a mobile boutique on wheels. Talk about that.
Ooh, that journey. Okay, so I worked in the entertainment industry, and so in 2010, this truck came. So mind you, I'm just launching. So I'm moving from accessories and I'm moving into clothing. So shirts and skirts. That's what I went for. And so the accessories, shirts, and skirts. And I was branching off to going online. And so this truck came to our job and it had one rack on one side and one on the other. And they were selling vintage jackets from like the sets, but they were like designer jackets. $2,000 jackets you can get for $100. So when I was in the truck, it was like a light bulb went off. I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Like, I can make this. I can do a boutique online. And so I went back to my desk at work and I was online looking up mobile boutiques and I could not find one. I mean, when I say I searched every possible, now I would have been the first person. I just the first person in the entire. I just want to make that clear. But I hit a financial roadblock and I couldn't get my truck at the time. And I'm just like, Lord. But I stayed, I kept the faith and I was determined to get the truck. Now, mind you, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, literally. I got some friends in the comments that know I plays no games when it comes to telling that side of my truth. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I know you would not birth in me this ideal and it would not come to pass. So I would write it in my planner. I would have it on my computer, like you will be a boutique owner. So fast forward to like 2013, the middle of 2013, I was laid off from the company. And with the $6,000 of severance that I got, I paid my rent for 2 months. I paid my car note and I paid to get my credit fixed. And in the other, I invested and I found me a truck. So mind you, here's somebody got laid off. The unemployment they rolled in. I took what I had to my name that I walked away from the company with and I invested it. I was like, let me take care of my credit. Let me pay my rent up. Let me get this car note a couple of months out the way. And then I'm going to take this other. I ain't thinking about food or nothing. None of that. I'm thinking about what I'm about to do with this truck, literally. And I took the rest and I found the truck. and I started getting it worked on. So it was supposed to launch in the end of 2013, but the guy that was working on it took my little coins and didn't tell me that the roofing in the truck was damaged. And so I only found that out because after I started paying him, he actually fell off and stopped
I think Sherika hit a little bump in the road right there.
Okay.
You back. We got you. Come on. We got you. You back.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, now you went dead on us. Yeah, your volume, you muted on us somehow.
I'm not.
Okay, you right now. You right now. You good now.
I'm like, I didn't touch anything. Okay, so I want y'all to hear this.
Hey, look, the devil tried to stop this message, this part from coming out because you better help some people turn it around.
Somebody needs to hear this. So this other guy came and he was like, you know, darling, I'm not going to take your money. Like, you need to get a new truck. So I'm sitting there like, okay, Lord, like this can't be happening. I done took all my little coins, like literally what I had to my name, and I'm investing in this. And then this guy basically was like, no. So, okay, I'm back at work. So, you know, I'm using my job resources. On my lunch, I sat at my desk. And because, you know, your lunch, you can do what you want to do. I sat at my legs, put my little sign down on my cubicle on lunch. I used that computer at work to research mobile trucks to find me another truck. So I ended up finding another truck. The truck that I currently have now was owned by a mechanic.
Oh, wow.
Who was moving to New York, and he had to sell the truck. He dropped his price, when I say down, and me and my son drove almost 2 hours to Fillmore. Didn't know this man, didn't know we was coming. I had my mace with me because, you know, you got to use your common sense as well, right? I don't know where I'm going. I told my son, just keeping it 100. I'm from Compton, so you know how that is.
So you didn't have no Pastor Perry in the car with you?
No, I mean, I didn't say a 38. I said mace now. No, I had my mace because I didn't know where we were going. You know, we were driving to one house that we didn't know, and it was me and my son. And so by that time he was like 15, 16. So anyway, long story short, the guy was like, it's something about you. Like, I'm going to drop the price another $500. Mind you, I'm already getting the steal. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I hear you. And so I called a friend of mine that knew about, and he told me the things to look for on the truck. I went to the bank. I said, I don't have the money on me, but I will give you a $500 deposit. We literally did like old school. He got a notebook, piece of paper. We signed it. He went in the house, made a copy, brought me a copy. And he was like, you know where I stay. Like, I wouldn't run off. And I was like, it's okay, but you don't know what I've been going through. And I do not have the money to just give away to somebody. Like, this $500, you see that's my son right here. I got another one. And I was like, I'm doing this for my children and me to have a better life. And he was like, okay. So we went, gave him the money. We drove back. Me and my sister this time went back the next day. And I paid him for the truck. We drove off. I got a smog. And when I took it to the small guy, he said, if you ever decide to sell this truck, he was like, call me. Here's my number. I'll pay you triple what you paid. This truck is in immaculate condition. He was like, whoever had this truck took care of it. And when I tell you I ain't had no issues with my truck, thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
But that's an amazing story because I want to try to say it the right way, you know, because Pastor Perry can be uncouth, you know, out there with certain things that he says. Because I want to try to say it the right way. Let me say it. Okay. So you did what we do in the hood. What we did in the hood. We took something and we flipped it.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? People can get that. People can understand. You took your last. You know, I've done that. You understand? I did that. I took my last, and this is my last $100. I gotta go buy something. It's illegal, but I gotta go buy something to flip something in order for me to start having something. You didn't go the illegal route.
Right.
You went the God route.
Yeah.
And it led to where you are today.
Yes.
I want you to speak to the people who are watching us tonight, and who feel that there is no hope, that I'm going through this pandemic, we're going through challenges, maybe they got laid off their job. I want you to talk to those people right now and explain to them that even if they don't have a job, as long as they got God, they can still make it.
No, absolutely. And it's so crazy that you even asked that, because before you started speaking, I was going to say, let me say one thing, which is on the lines of what you just asked me to share. No, I was going to say, it was so many people that talked about me. It was so many people that laughed. It was so many people like, oh, you taking your last, you can barely buy you and your children something to eat. Why would you take your last and go get a truck? And this, and they didn't see the vision. And one thing about when God gives you a vision, it's your vision and no one else's. And that's why Trust Your Process came about, because it's my process, it's my journey, it's my vision that God gave to me. I can share, you can share your vision with your closest friend, with your mother, with your husband, with your children, with your mate, your partner, whatever it is. And they are not going to see the vision as clear as you, because God didn't give them the vision. God gave you the vision. So it's your job to go ahead and set forth what it is that God told you to do. Because one thing about God, if he gave you something and you do not go forth with it, it is going to keep on keeping on. I won't say it's a nag, but it's just going to keep knocking at your door constantly and constantly. And then you're going to find yourself right back at this starting, at the starting space of where you was, because you didn't listen to what you were supposed to do. So it is somebody that's listening right now that needs to hear my testimony, and they need to hear this story. Like, you may be going through something, but you have to know that, for one, it's your process. It's nobody else's. And God is allowing you to go through that. And I say allow for so many reasons, because we actually have to allow God to work in our lives. We always get in the way of allowing God to really move. And I think by me just really standing on faith the way that I did in that thing, that it came forth the way that it did, because I didn't get detoured. I didn't care about what the naysayers were saying. I didn't care about the person that was like, girl, how you gonna get a truck? And her words always ring in my ear, always. And I don't know why, but I'll never forget, from her cubicle to mine, she was like, it's like, you just asked me to get you and the kids something to eat, and you gonna take your last to get a truck. But see, the way God moves is, I'm taking my last to get my truck, because I know what God can do. And let me just say this, I never not paid my tithes. Never not paid my tithes.
Yeah. I think you're helping people right now. You're really helping people, because you said something. This is a message that I teach when I go to a lot of different churches, and it's about vision. And I define vision like this: is that vision is having the ability to see further than your eyes can look by seeing through the eyesight of God. Vision, when you're looking at things from God's perspective, you don't see things in the natural. Right. You didn't see the fact that, hey, I just asked you to give me some food for me and my kid. You didn't see that. Because vision makes you see things beyond that. It's beyond your comfort zone. It's beyond anybody else's comfort zone. And the reality is, nobody else is supposed to have this vision in that area but you. Right. And so look at what God did. He ignited a fire under you, and you could not let it go. You had to do something with it, because your destiny, purpose, and blessings are tied to you doing what it is that God put in you to do.
Absolutely to that. And that's why I said my first business, because from Hung Up, then my speaking engagements came. And then from there, Trust Your Process came. And then from there, DPE Your Vision came. And before all of those, Fancy Fresh came. But Fancy Fresh is something I sat on for so long, but it was there and it was mine. I knew I was going to do something with it, so I trademarked it. I'll never forget riding in the car with Jasmine. We was either going to a concert or coming back. And I was like, I just always said Fancy Fresh. And I was like, this is going to be something. This is going to be catchy. So again, my little robbing Peter to pay Paul, I took $225 back then before I knew what Fancy Fresh was going to be. And I trademarked it because I knew that it was going to be something.
But that's a great thing, though. That's a great thing that you were able to see that. Now, you actually led into my next question. You led into that. And my next question was, you always talk about trust in your process. Yeah. So tell us, what is trust in your process? You already did it, but that was my question for you. So what is trust in your process? And then we're going to get into the next phase about being an entrepreneur for real, so people can get this too.
So, yes, they are, Tiffany. So trusting your process is, I started saying that maybe like in a year, right around the time 2013. And I would used to say, trust the process. And as time went on, it became your process because it is your process. Like my journey and my process is different from yours, and vice versa, yours from mine. And when you go through the process and don't skip steps in the process, that's the important part about trusting your process, because it's so many people that want to skip steps in the process, and you can't skip the steps, because if you skip the steps, then you gonna miss when you, even though you get to the end and you may accomplish what it is that you feel you need to accomplish, you still miss those steps along the way that's gonna keep you through the end, if that makes sense. Because everything I went through, I was trusting the process. I trusted the process when I got laid off and took that $6,000. I trusted the process when I drove out there to Fillmore to get that truck. I trusted the process when I got the first truck. I trusted the process along my journey. And through that, I've learned to convey and tell people that it's your processes and no one else's. And you have to learn to embrace the process. And that's what a lot of people don't do either. They don't embrace it. They don't embrace the journey. And I will never forget standing in Jasmine's office when she and I used to work together. And I was like, I'm now looking at things through the eyes of the Lord. And oftentimes we look at it with our eyes, and with our eyes, like you just said, you don't see clear. But when you look at it through the eyes of the Lord, it's so much clearer. And you know, so that's why when I was getting laid off and I didn't know, and I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, I wasn't worried. And Jasmine is one that can contest to that. I was never like a worrier. I knew God was gonna keep me. I knew that He was gonna get me through, because I was embracing my journey and I was embracing my process.
That's so amazing, because you said people don't embrace their journey, and they really don't, because the journey seems to be too hard for people. But here's another thing that people don't do along their journey. They don't enjoy it. They don't enjoy the journey because it doesn't seem right. You understand? It doesn't seem right. One of my favorite sayings is, you have to believe in the dark what God told you in the light.
Come on.
Because the Bible said the entrance of thy word, it gives light. It brings light. The Bible said the word is a lamp unto our feet. It's a light unto our path. So it lights, it illuminates. But then there comes a time where you enter into a season where you don't see what God promised you. That's when you have to hold fast to what God told you. You got to believe in the dark what God told you in the light, because that's the thing that's going to get you through. Because the people that you're counting on to say something encouraging may not do it.
Come on.
The person who was sitting next to you in the cubicle that you would have thought would have believed in you, her words to you is, you just asked me, da 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 da. She couldn't see. You have to hold fast to what God said in the face of adversity. And I applaud you for that. I'm proud of you for that. I really am, for your accomplishments and things that you've done. So listen, I got to promote you. I got to promote Get Hung Up Boutique. All right. You know, as Pastor Perriman says on Facebook, when you're on many times, I said, hey, you got to go get hooked up and Get Hung Up Boutique. I don't know where I came. I don't know where I got that from.
Good God.
You got to go get hooked up and Get Hung Up Boutique. I'm telling you, hey, whatever you need, you need some business attire, she got you. You need some stuff that's going to make you look sleek and sexy, she got you. Doesn't matter your age or race. Doesn't matter how old you are. None of that. She got you. I promise you, she going to make you look good.
I am.
But now you're talking about trusting the process. Now, let's get into talking about this divine planner that you wrote. Let's talk about that, because everybody is an entrepreneur, but you need help.
Yes.
And this plan is going to help people. So talk about that plan and tell people where they can get it at too.
Okay, so I actually only have 6 planners left, and they're on sale right now for $30. It is a hardcover wire roll, and this planner was created because literally I needed to be held accountable, right? For things that I was planning out. And I'm a planner user. I love planners, but in every planner, something was missing. So
My
it is
wife
a
does too. My wife uses planners too, boy.
and this planner is really like no other. And I'm not just saying that because I created it, but it literally walks you to this through the steps of defining what it is that you want to do. Insert step is praying about it, because I believe that you should and have to pray on any and everything that you're trying to do. And then you plan it out. And then it's a section in there for you to help you write down things that can help you execute what it is that you want to do. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you can either plan it out monthly, you can plan it out in 3-month sessions, however you need to plan out your goal, and however long it takes for you to obtain it, you're capable with doing it. I have reminders in there at the end of the week. You're able to have a weekly reflection of
right. All right, I think Sherika went dead again.
I did.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Just it seems like your signal went dead or something. Oh, we hear you. Okay, now we don't hear you at all. We don't even hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Now we got you now. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, because I'm literally away from like everything, and so I don't know. But
but you good. You good.
And like I said, I host vision board events once a year, and that's how the planner came about, because so many people was asking me, how do I obtain my goals and how do I stay on track? And so that's why I created this planner to help individuals out. It's an amazing, amazing planner. So it's 6 left. You guys should definitely go head over to www.dpeyourvision.com and grab those last ones. I will not be bringing any more back to after the second half of the year.
That's a good thing. Now, I want to talk about, because our podcast tonight is really based on it's really based on the entrepreneur in you, and because I believe that everyone is an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that we all going to own a boutique. It doesn't mean that we're all going to start this business, a restaurant or whatever, but we are all an entrepreneur. God placed it on the inside of us. When you look at the Bible, especially in the book of Matthew, the Bible tells us that Jesus is giving us an example. He's talking about this man has called his 3 servants together. To one, he gives 5 talents. To another, he gives 2. To another, he gives 1. And the Bible says he gives it to them according to their several ability. So in a sense, he's saying that we don't all do the same thing, but we are CEOs or entrepreneurs of the gift that God gave us.
Absolutely.
And I really believe that every one of us is a CEO. We just have to be able to tap into that purpose, that reason we exist, and learn how to function and flow in that area. Can you talk about the entrepreneur in you, that how everyone has this?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that we all have gifts, and I think that and so through DPE Your Vision, that is one of the things that I do. I help others tap into their greatness, and when I say greatness, it is that God-given, purpose-driven thing that's down on the inside that burns you. Not burns you literally, but it's that burning desire of something that you want to do. It can be helping others, it can be giving back. It can be ministry. It can be so many different things. It can be praying for people, giving people treats, feeding the hungry. It's something that that you will do and you won't get paid for. And that's when I knew my passion for fashion, because when people come on my truck, I'm okay if you come on and you don't walk away and don't purchase anything, because in the 11 and a half years that I've been in business, I had one return, and it was actually an exchange. And that's because I don't just sell to people for the money. I don't say, yeah, girl, you look good in that. But I know that it wasn't flattering on her and it didn't look good to her. So for me, I'd rather you get something that you're going to love when you look in the mirror and you're going to be like, oh, let me tell this girl about her. And it's not about the outfit. It's about the customer experience. And it's about how I treated you when you walked on that boutique or even when you encountered with me. So I think that if you know that you have something that's deep down on the inside, stop sitting on it. I mean, I think that for so long, we wait till everything is right. And everything isn't going to be right. I just told you guys my story and how I started with accessories. I didn't have a full boutique. I started with what I had, and I just started, and I trusted my journey along the way. So you just got to start, because if you don't start, you're going to keep waiting. That's just like everybody like, oh, I want to wait till the right time to have a baby. It's never a right time to have a baby. It's never a right time. I am 42 and my oldest is 23 and he has a 1-year-old. And it's things that I'm learning with her that I didn't even learn with my 2 boys. So one, like, oh, for real, I didn't know. So that's just how it goes. So my advice to you, and to you to have the entrepreneur that's in you and you want to really start. Like, what are you waiting on? It's so many things that get your website. I'm big on trademarks. You can ask Jasmine. I am big on you getting trademark. Don't sit on things. Do it with what you got. Work with what you have. And when you do that and you step out on faith, God is gonna start opening doors for you that'll blow your mind. Like I'm telling you, with me with speaking engagements, it was somebody buying a dress for me, and she was like, "You know what? I love your attitude. Do you speak?" Guess what I said? Yes, I do. I'm a speaker. I sure did. And she was like, "Oh, I'm having an event. I would love for you to come and speak and talk about entrepreneurship and how you got started." Okay, I sure will. And from there, that opened up so many more opportunities for me. And people just start saying, "Sherika, I want you over here. Can you come here? Can you come to these women and talk to them?" And that's just how doors, my job, they want me to start doing things, about my business at my job. So that's going to open up other opportunities for me as well. So I just think you got to start. You need to start. Like, what are you waiting for?
I'm a believer in just doing what God told you to do. Bishop Apostle Ivy Heed said something one day that really blew my mind. He said that he had a pastor who emulated something before him that caused him to be bold. And he said his pastor would say things like that. If God said it, what you waiting on? What you waiting for? That's my point. There is no right time to get it done. You just have to start. That's all God is looking for, is for somebody to get out of the boat. If we just get out of the boat, the Bible says Peter got out the boat on the word called come. In that word come was everything that Peter needed to walk on the water. It was within that word. And God has given every one of us a CEO.
Yeah.
He's given us, every one of us, a gift that we are CEO over. We are entrepreneurs and we need to tap into that.
Yeah.
The thing that I am so caught up in the assignment that God has given me, because I understand that doing what he said gets you what he said.
Yeah.
That's so important. Doing what he said gets you what he said.
I need to put that in the comments.
Doing what he said gets you what he said. And that is so crucial. I don't have to try to figure this thing out. I don't have to try to work this thing out. He already did it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just look. I was looking at something earlier, and because I really wanted to really dig into this and talk about the people who own businesses, especially African Americans, especially women. And the number that I saw was staggering, that I think it was around less than 20% of African American women own businesses or even CEOs. We can change that.
Yeah.
We can change that. There are women who are on here tonight. Can you talk to them about unleashing that entrepreneur in them?
Yes, absolutely. I was gonna say when you were talking that I think what's important, especially with social media now, everything is in our face, right? So you will have an ideal over here, right? And then you'll go on social media and then you'll look at somebody else doing the same exact thing that you know you should be doing. And then you'll get discouraged. And what I did when I was in business, I didn't look at not one boutique. For what? I needed to focus on hunger. I didn't look at what the next person was doing, and I still don't. I mean, that's my attitude though. Like, I'm not worried about what the next person is doing. All I'm worried about is what Sherika Nicole is doing and how Sherika Nicole is evolving as a woman, how she's evolving as a businesswoman, and how she can bring other people along her journey with her. That's my concern. And so I think that what I would say in that, I believe this go along those lines. Don't get so caught up in what the next person is doing, and don't worry about that. Just focus on what you know you should be doing and invest in yourself. I have taken classes. I just took a class about business credit. You have to invest in yourself. And it's so many people that when they're starting, they're scared. They want to hold on to what they got. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do this because I don't need it. And you got to be a student of life, especially in business. You got to be willing to learn, and you got to be willing to sit under other people that's doing what it is that you hope to do one day. And so I believe that if you know it's in you, your first step is you got to believe in yourself first. Because if you don't believe you can do it, then what's the point of it at all? Because if you don't believe, then I'm not going to believe. The next person next to you not going to believe. No one's going to follow because you don't believe in what you're capable of doing. And you know you're capable of doing. It's people on here that can probably cook. It's people on here that can watch kids good. It's people on here that can sew. It's people on here that can write, that's good at editing. Like, people is literally sitting on their gifts. And so with DPE, I'm here to help you tap into that. Like, what is your gift? What is it that you really enjoy doing, that you're so passionate about? And that's what you got to do. You got to find that. And when you find it, you got to believe in it. Because if you don't believe it, it's just a deal.
That's so important, that we got to believe in what we're doing. If you don't believe, you can't expect anybody else to believe. Because when you believe, it now becomes, it's your passion on display.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you really believe this thing, it's your passion on display. Like, everybody can see it. Everybody can hear it. And even to the point, this is how you know you really touching somebody like that. They start to say, you getting on my nerves talking about this.
Yeah, I'm sure I got on some people's nerves.
But you can't, but here's the thing, you can't help it.
Right.
Jeremiah says it's like fire shut up in my bones. Like, I can't help it. You gotta say something. You have to, because it's in you. And those same people who would reject you probably had to come back for your help.
Oh no, absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely. It was some people that laughed about me. Oh, she about to sell trucks, clothes out the truck on the corner. And then them same people, guess what? Yeah. They want a truck. They want a truck. They want to know where I got it from. But they don't know that I know what they were saying. But they in my DMs. So you gotta just know. With Fancy Fresh, this came out, like I said, way before Hung Up. And I sat on it for so long. And somebody last night, I went to a little gathering and I had on one of my outfits. Because, I'm my walking brand.
Of course.
Like, I remember when you used to talk about that and then it died out. So that just let me know it's people that's watching. They act like that, but they watching. But it also let me know too, it was a reminder to self as I'm glad I kept going with it,
Of course.
And I didn't let it sit there and be like, oh, because you get doubtful. I'm not gonna sit on here and act like those thoughts ain't never ran into my mind to stop, or this is getting too hard. I would never ever tell anyone that. Oh yeah, those thoughts come. but then greater than he is in me than he is in the world. So then I remember who I serve, and I remember what he told me and what his promise was, and that his word cannot come back void as long as I'm doing and I'm in alignment with his will.
You are touching so many points right now. We're gonna take some questions in just a moment. One question was, and I'm quite sure you can see it, but I'm gonna put it on the screen for everybody else to see it. How can I get in touch with you?
So you can email me at imshericanicole@gmail.com. All of my social medias, Jasmine, if you wouldn't mind putting my Linktree link, then that way all of my links, all of my websites, all of my different websites for my businesses are there. So if you want to purchase Fancy Fresh, DPE, and again, you can email imshericanicole@gmail.com. And yeah, that's work. I'm willing to help, you know.
But you're doing a great job. I want to promote your business one more time. Hey, this is the Pastor Perryman slogan. I don't know if she adopted or not, but hey, go get hooked up at Get Hung Up Boutique. I'm telling you, go get hooked up at Get Hung Up Boutique. You need some accessories, go get hooked up at Get Hung Up Boutique. Hey, you need some naughty stuff for your husband, go get hooked up at Get Hung Up Boutique.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Pastor. Dresses though. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for posting that.
So yeah, y'all go get the DP planner. Please do that. Go get the divine plan execute. Go get that planner. It's gonna bless your life and encourage your life. So please do that. Hey, she says she only got 6 left. So do me a favor. Let's make sure that she don't have none after tonight. All right. Y'all know Pastor Perry is big on promoting people who watch his broadcast. You know, I figure people can take the opportunity to watch me in the morning. I should take the opportunity to promote them and to give God praise for them. So listen, she got 6 planners left. Y'all go get the planner. Go get the planner. Please go get the planner and plan your life out. I'm telling you, plan your business. Hey, help yourself to get to the next level, all right? And hey, do us a favor and make sure you go get hooked up at Get Hung Up Boutique. I'm telling you.
I love it. I'm gonna put that. I'm putting that in my next post.
doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, she got you, all right? So please go do that.
Listen. My sizes are.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Oh, Sherika went dead on us again. You look, we can't even hear you no more. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
I don't know why it's doing that, but I was stating that my sizes on the boutique is sizes small through 3X, and then in Fancy Fresh it is small through extra large right now. So plus sizes will be coming.
See, I told you, she got you. She got everybody. It don't matter. She don't discriminate. And because she don't discriminate, don't you vacillate. You go get what it is that she has so you can be off the chain. And I want to tell you tonight that I'm appreciative of you for being on with us tonight. I really am. And so here's the thing that I want to do is I want people really tonight to just give us some questions in our last few minutes. And then we're going to let Sherika close with some amazing words, things like that, advice that she would give to you. She's already given you a lot of advice, but I'm telling you, I believe this last closing advice that she'll give is going to be tremendous. So listen, if you got questions tonight, I need you to go on in and ask your questions tonight. She's here. She's ready to answer some things. She knows what it's like to be born in the hood, and she knows what it's like to just move and do things for the kingdom of God. And so she knows. So, hey, get your questions in tonight. We greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate every one of you for being on tonight.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Yeah, we do. And listen, you got to go watch again, because what we'll do is we will also send the link back out to people for them to watch again tomorrow. So you got to come on and be a part. Listen, if you've missed any of our podcasts, you can always go back and watch them on iTunes. You can go back and watch them on the Google Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn. You can go watch them on those places. Hey, they're going to be a blessing to you. If you got the Fire Stick, we on there too. So go check us out. All right. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions?
It looks like it's one question.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a business that you would like to trademark, what's the process? It's a long process. That's an offline, literally. I do trademarks. I do for a small fee, just because I do know the process. But you can definitely email me, Sophia, and I would definitely let you know like what steps to go through. The site, I don't have it offhand, so I'll email you the site that you will go on for it. But it is a long, tedious, but it is so worth it. Anybody that got an idea, please don't sit on your name. Do not sit on your name. That is like, just don't sit on it. That's all I can say. I cannot stress that enough. I know a couple of people that had some amazing, amazing names that sat on it. I myself sat on Trust the Process. That's why I had to change it to Trust Your Process. Thank you, Jasmine, for putting that. And yes, so do not sit on your name. It's a small investment, but it's that $225 that you're gonna pay. Trust me, it's totally worth it. It is so worth it.
Yeah, that's a tremendous blessing. So again, if you got questions tonight, we appreciate your questions tonight. We got a few more moments, but if you got questions, and I want you to ask them. And
so we have another question from Kim Simmons. Hello, thank you so much. She asked, how many businesses do you have? Are they all clothes and jewelry related? So I have 6 businesses. I am a co-owner with my son. He's 13. He is the owner of Camden's Candy Shop. So he does that. I have Hung Up Boutique. I have DPE Your Vision. Trust Your Process is under that. Fancy Fresh is a clothing line. They are not all clothing and jewelry related. Under DPE Your Vision, that's where I do my business consulting or any type of consulting. That's where I will help you tap into your greatness. You can work with me one-on-one, like starting a business, just different things about trademarks and so forth. So through that business is what I help a lot of people with business and whatnot. And then everything else is clothing related. I actually don't even sell jewelry anymore. Like I started it and it's whatever's left on my website, that's just what I got. But I haven't made any bracelets in so long. But if you was to order some, I will make them. But I haven't did it in so long.
That's good. Listen, here's what I need our people to do tonight.
A bootlegger. I cannot, Robert.
That's my cousin. Don't be paying no attention to him. He be tripping.
I want to be a bootlegger.
He tripping. Don't be paying attention. He tripping.
And let me just say this though. I used to sell CDs when I was going in college. See, it's always been in me. The hustle and the entrepreneur always been in me. I used to do nails, hair, sell CDs, teach fitness class, teach dance class. I'm telling you, I've done it just about it all. And I'm sticking with it.
I want you to know that again, I appreciate you tonight for being on. Here's some of the things that I do for some of our guests who come on. I don't do this for everybody. It depends on how God leads me to do it. But listen, hey, if you've been blessed tonight by the things that Sherika has said, I want y'all to get a seed in the ground for her tonight. You can do that. She did not ask me to do this. And again, I don't do this for everybody. It has to be God moves on me to do it. And so, hey, I'm going to ask her to give us her Cash App information. And that way we can make sure that people get a seed in the ground to her. Again, she did not ask me to do this.
Y'all see my face? It's a shocked face. I'm smiling, but it's a shock. I'm shocked. I did not.
She didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. So can you tell the people what your Cash App is so we can put it on the screen so people can get it to you, get a seed to you?
My Cash App is Sherika Nicole, money sign Sherika Nicole.
Oh, okay. That's all right. So I'm going to put it on the screen here. Money sign Sherika. And so listen, y'all do us a favor. Get a seed in the ground to her. There's no seed that's too big or too small. Get it in the ground. Hey, and I would also encourage every one of you who's looking for somebody to mentor them. Please make sure you reach out to her. Get her DP planner. Go get hooked up at Get Hung Up Boutique. I promise you, it's gonna be a blessing. But get a seed in the ground to her tonight. Just a thank you seed. If you've been blessed by her encouragement, her words, if you've been blessed by the exposure that she's talked about tonight, she's exposed you to some great things. Get a seed in the ground tonight. And of course, we do send something as well. But get a seed in the ground again. She did not ask for this. All right, she didn't ask for this. I only do this when God drops it in my spirit to do certain things.
Someone asked for my Zelle. My Zelle is Sherika6276 @yahoo.com.
6276.
Sherika6276 @yahoo.com.
All right.
No questions.
My daughter taught me how to do this, so I'm on it. I'm doing it. My daughter taught me how to do this. So hey, if you want to sell through Zelle, there it is.
Yeah, Sherika6276 @yahoo.
Well, we finna fix it right now. Like I said, my daughter taught me how to do this. Yeah, she taught me how to do this, so I'm on it. And so
we didn't have any questions, guys.
Yeah, y'all don't have any questions tonight. See, Zelle, Sherika6276 @yahoo.com. Hey, we quit on this podcast. I'm telling you.
Wait, I absolutely love your podcast, and you know what? Even just listening to you. I mean, I remember when you were talking about your podcast and you started it, and it's here, and it just goes to show that we just gotta start. So many things and so many ideas that we have, and we literally sit on them. I don't know if you guys seen that little thing that the babies can sit up in, that little chair thingy. Me and my sisters was in the house, and we came up with that, and we sat on that idea. And guess what? It's in the stores. People buying them for the babies to sit up in. So we can't sit on our ideas. We can't sit on our gifts, and we can't sit on our creativity. It's somebody out there for you. And again, I cannot stress it enough. Don't get so caught up in what the next person is doing. Don't get so caught up in, if I start, is somebody gonna buy? Don't think about, I think, and I do want to say this, I think that when we start businesses, when we do things, we think about all the things that can go wrong. We never think about, what if I just step out on faith and this thing take off? What if I just step out on faith and all these doors open? What if I just step out on faith and then somebody like, girl, I was thinking of the same thing. Can I help and be a blessing, or be it invest in your business? What about what can happen if you do it? Not all the bad things. Like, we gotta stop thinking about the negative. We gotta stop thinking about what can go wrong. Start reverse that energy to what can go right if you start.
Yeah, that's the crucial part. And I'm just so grateful that you lit a fire on the people tonight. And so I want you to know how much we appreciate you. And so again, what we want people to do is to get a seed in the ground tonight again. And we appreciate you so much for everything that you've done. And thank y'all so much for being on this podcast tonight. Sherika, you want to leave any other parting advice to people before we get out of here?
Believe in yourself. I am extremely big on that. I know that it sounds like cliche and so easy, but it's so many people that don't believe in themselves, and they say that they do. And your mouth is saying one thing, but your heart is saying something else. And it's kind of like, you can put on that facade for everybody, but God knows your heart. It's the same ideal that you have. And you're telling somebody, yeah, I'm going to start, and yeah, I'm going to do this. But when are you going to do it? When you start, that's when the belief is going to just, that fire under you, you're going to get a second win. I don't know if everybody ever ran a race, and you get that second win. When I start certain things, I'm like, it's like a second win. I'm like, okay, now I can do this. Like, I'm working on something else right now. And it's like one thing is gonna always lead into something else. So can you imagine how long you've been holding up your process because you just won't start? Or you won't even embrace the thing that you're going through? So I just want you just to know that it definitely starts with you. And in order for anyone else to take heed and to take hold to that thing that you're doing, you got to first take hold to it yourself. So when you see me, y'all gonna see me in Fancy Fresh. Because guess what? I got to believe in it first, right?
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that's cute. Like I was somewhere last night, guess what? Making sales. That's cute. I'm selling outfits to the girls' boyfriends. They ain't even with them. I'm like, you should get they like, that's nice. You want to buy your girlfriend one? I'm just saying, you gotta be the one. You gotta be the first person, because if you miss your opportunities, the opportunities may not ever show up again.
That's true. Well, listen, we got to get out of here. Time is spent, but hey, I appreciate every one of y'all for being on. Y'all love on Miss Sherika tonight, and thank you so much for being on. Hey, don't forget, please, people, get a seed in the ground for her tonight. Cash App her. You can also do Zelle tonight, and go get the planners, but also go get hooked up at Good Hung Up Boutique. All right. I love y'all. We got to go. Y'all be blessed. And we will see y'all again next Monday night on the Kingdom Life Experience podcast. Love y'all. Be blessed.